Not a lot separates them, really. Possession, of course, we see there Liverpool with a higher possession and more shots, but it's actually Girona that have edged it a little bit in terms of shots on target. Let's have a look at what we've seen from Liverpool so far, because, Macca, they've had a number of chances, haven't they?
Yeah, it's been an enjoyable first half, considering it's 0-0, really. Quite frustrating. And Liverpool looked as if they were in second gear, to be honest, Lord. I've been waiting for them. Well, I was almost waiting for half-time. So Arne Slot will have a bit of a shout and just couldn't get past Gazzaniga. But I think Liverpool could step it up a couple of gears in the second half. Well, I hope they do, anyway.
They are known to, aren't they?
Yeah.
Rio, Girona at one point, especially, were really having a go, weren't they?
Yeah, and that's what you expect. You come away from home in Europe and you expect, no matter where you go, you're going to be put under a bit of pressure. And it was going to come today. This is a wonderful ball in, and Daley Blind, I'm sure, will be kicking himself when he sees the replay. We wondered if he was offside in the build-up, but he wasn't. It's a great chance. Here involved again. I mean, you look at him and think, Liverpool, I think, in these games, unless you will get punished. This level, no matter where Girona are in their league, Champions League football, you get punished if you're not really on your mettle.
You were just saying what Arne Slot might be saying to them now at half-time. It's been a bit end-to-end at times, something that he doesn't like. He wants a little bit more control. What do you think he's going to say?
Well, they're too chaotic. Because they've got possession, they've let themselves open at the back. They need to be a bit more secure, and they be a bit more dynamic in front of goal.
Ball edge it in the end, Lucy.
Yeah, they haven't probably been at their best, Liverpool, but they've got the job done away from home, unbeaten away from home again. And I think after the goal, they managed to control the game. I think that's so important for Liverpool, but certainly getting 3 points and having a perfect record in the Champions League is good for them.
On they go, 6 out of 6 for Liverpool in the Champions League.
The luxury of a little bit, they won't relax necessarily, Rio, but they know that the hard work is done now.
Well, that man in your picture, Virgil, ever present, plays all the games. That's the type of person that you can take out of the team and give him a breather, let some other players get some exposure. And I think you've got to think about long term in this situation. They've been here before when they're fighting on all fronts, and they probably run out of a bit of steam. You do need a bit of luck, but I think keeping players and as fresh as you can be for the latter stages, the final running of a season, is imperative if you want to be successful on many fronts.
Yeah, absolutely. OK, beginning
to give a penalty. I wouldn't have been particularly happy. I mean, it's great for Liverpool, of course it is, but if I was on the opposite end...
Continues his rich reign of form in scoring, scores the winning goal. It's like, that's all he's there for. That's what he wants to do.
What's Donny van der Beek? I mean, he's unlucky there, but should he put himself in that position in the first place, Rio?
Yeah, maybe the only criticism is maybe a bit overzealous in terms of trying to get to the ball, because he didn't even get to the ball in the end either. He didn't touch the ball. But I'm like Macca. To close down, but if you accidentally stand on an inch of his heel on the back, I mean, it's very, very unfortunate. You know, it is with all respect, it's a contact game, and we see a lot more contact at corners and at free kicks, which go, unmentioned to. So I don't think it was a penalty, regardless of the result. I agree.
Let's have a look at some of Girona's best moments. Rio, at times were you impressed with their performance?
Yeah, at times they showed it. This was a great opportunity, one of their best of the game. Daley Blind, probably the wrong person in that position to execute. But
But we know the players, and we know a lot of the players because we've seen them in the Premier League. And Dan Zuma is, unfortunately, that's what he's known for. Hell of a talent, can beat people, can drop shoulders, but it's his final product, his end product lets him down, and that's what it did today. And Liverpool dominated the second half, really. And
you see a lot of these teams, the smaller teams, they're like backs against the wall, defend. Look at the stats there. They have many shots on goal, their opportunities. They were actually picking their moments within the game to be a threat. So I think, as I said, as the manager and as a team, I think they can take enormous credit from this game.
Mac, I know you've said in the past this season that you're not necessarily surprised that Arne Slot has done well and hit the ground running. But 6 out of 6 in the Champions League is, by anyone's standards, very impressive. Thought
this transition would be quite seamless, but I've been very, very surprised by the results, without a shadow of a doubt. You know, going away to Milan, I expect Bologna, of course, but Leipzig have always got a decent past. To go away and play the Leverkusens and the Madrids and beat them easily. That has been surprising, but I did think Liverpool would qualify out of this group. I had no qualms at all with the talent at the disposal, but I didn't expect them to be almost perfect as to where they're sitting now in the league, in the Champions League, and in the League Cup, which will come next week, won't it?
It is early doors, and I hate asking these kind of questions, but you have to when there's a superior record that Liverpool have got at the moment. Do they make themselves favourites for you, Rio, at the moment for the Champions League?
I think I always struggle with that at this stage. It's like form-wise right now, yes, they have to be the favourites. But the trophy isn't handed out right at this point. And the way that the makeup of a squad and a team, physically, mentally, and form-wise and momentum-wise, come March, April time will be very different to what we see now. So I think you kind of have to be a bit patient. They definitely have all the makeup and all the markings of a team that can be successful this season. But I think it's how you get into those areas of this season, form-wise and with your team physically really determines where you're going to be.
We've seen the best team around that we're going to watch in 5 minutes.
Yep.
They've constantly struggled to get to the knockout phase. And as soon as February comes, it's like a switch is flicked in Madrid and they suddenly turn it on. So as much as they're struggling now and they're in 24th before tonight's games, and they've got a team who are top of Serie A who they're going to meet, they will still be one of the favourites, surprisingly, because of who they've got on the team and when they're ready to go, when the business end comes.
Just back to Liverpool as well. Look, we saw a bit of rotation tonight. We saw Alisson come back into the starting lineup as well, so they can build on that. And the criticism might be compared to last season, towards the end of the season, they fell away a little bit, Liverpool, because they struggled with those kind of injuries. Is that the biggest threat to them this season?
Yeah, injuries are a threat to every single squad, and that's, you've got to try and manage that. But you need luck. I don't care, no matter who you are. Real Madrid talking about the most successful team in this competition, they would have needed luck at different points of the season with all those victories. And Liverpool will be no different. But you've got. I think when you can take breaks in a season like Liverpool have afforded themselves in the next 2 games here, you have to be wise with those opportunities to take breaks for players.
They've got Fulham next, who are a difficult team to beat. Just ask Arsenal. How do you see that one going?
Well, without Bassi, who's suspended, isn't he? And they are at home, so you'd have to fancy them at home, just to keep on rolling on. And then they've got a League Cup game. I think they've got Tottenham away, which would be difficult, but you just don't know what you're going to get with Tottenham. And then you've got the Christmas period, and if you're top at Christmas or top at New Year, there's certain statistics to say you can go far in this competition, in these competitions.
Far from pleased about the performance tonight.
What were you not so pleased about?
A lot, but especially 2 things. If you play against a team that has such a good idea about football, knows how to bring the ball out from the back, like some other teams we faced recently, like City or Real Madrid, then you need to be so intense if you want to make it difficult for them. But if you're every time waiting a few seconds before you press, and if you do press, you are so easily outplayed, then this team can cause you a lot of problems. And that's what they showed during the whole Champions League campaign, except for PSV Eindhoven away. So I almost feel sorry for them, because they deserved so much more in this Champions League campaign than the 3 points they have till now. But yeah, we have an incredible goalkeeper. The other part was that every time we lost the ball, we were not aggressive enough. So every time we lost the ball, they could just almost every time go all the way to our goal, having a shot or a blocked shot, and then we could attack again. So hardly any control at all over the game. Maybe the second half was a bit better, but then I'm trying to be positive.
Chris, just check the microphone's on.
Is it on now? Yeah, I mean, what did you say half-time? Because it did look as though you had more control second half, to be fair. They didn't really have the same chances second half, Girona, but...
Maybe the first 5 or 10 minutes they went on the counter-attack 1 or 2 times still. Yeah, like so many times this season, if a team plays us, they do something different than they do all the other games. That probably we might see this as a compliment for what we've done till now and the quality of our players. But yeah, they played without a 9, a bit similar like Leverkusen. So it wasn't always easy for us to press them well. But I don't think it had that much to do with tactics, because if it's only tactics in terms of how you have to defend, then it's when they have the ball, when they bring the ball out from the back. But if we lose the ball and they could also go all the way to our goal, that tells me that in general we were by far not aggressive enough without the ball. And maybe the goal helped us most, that we scored a goal from a penalty.
Chris McKenna.
Just on Darwin Núñez, a couple of missed chances in the first half. He seems a bit maybe low on confidence. Do you agree?
what I can agree on is that he missed a few chances. Then it's always the question, does this have anything to do with low of confidence, or is this a situation where he's in at the moment? I think every striker all around the world has periods where every ball goes in, and sometimes he has a period where you try so hard, but you're not able to score. The good thing is that we have many players that can score for us. Today Mo again, but I would have loved to see Darwin score, because I think every striker wants to score, needs goals. That's why I kept him in for quite a long time. He was a threat, but unfortunately couldn't score because, yes, Alisson made a lot of saves, but I think if you make a highlight of this game, we will see a few chances that we had as well, which is something is normal. What is not normal is that we concede so many chances.
Jim at the back.
Sí, Jordi Quixano del diario El País. Quería preguntarle si considera que el Girona es un gran equipo, pero que pierde fuerza en las áreas, sobre todo en el área rival.
Losing strength?
Que pierde fuerza o que se vuelve más débil en el área rival.
I don't know. I can only be positive about Girona. I have so much respect for them. Last year they were an incredible team to watch. They had so many quality players. Now after the game I can maybe be a bit more honest, because you don't say this before the game, but they lost a bit of quality in my opinion. And if you can still play like this, that is a big compliment for the manager. That he's able in every Champions League game to play his own style, to make it so difficult for Paris Saint-Germain, difficult for Liverpool, difficult for Feyenoord. Those were the 3 games I watched most. And all because of they have such a good idea about how they want to bring the ball out from the back. So I would, if you give this manager the same quality players as he had last season, he will do exactly the same again. And top 3, top 5 in this league. But unfortunately for them, and it is mostly like this, they lose a bit of quality. Still good players, they still have good players, but not exactly the same quality as they had last season.
All done, finish. Last one, Richard.
Oh.
Finally got it working. Hi Anna, sorry, just to go back to Alisson. Queve's obviously been in brilliant form. You said all along that Alisson is your first choice goalkeeper, and I know you've said he made some good saves, but just to build on that, he really showed tonight why, and having been out for 2 months, he didn't look like he'd been away.
No, he definitely didn't. Yeah, I said out of a bit of a joke that maybe the players wanted to see how fit he really was, so to give him so much work. But of course that was not our plan. He showed again today why I said so many times that he's our first goalkeeper. That has nothing to do with Queeve. He did so well. But Alisson has been so important for this club for so many years, for his country.